Okay, so we have an urgent breaking news coming out. Do me a favor and share this video. Once again, thank you so much for your support. The biblical war has begun. Persia says every American in Mid-East now a legitimate target after the sleeping giant strikes. This is an update. Very important information is coming out right now. Do me a favor and share this video. Give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate the love and support. Let me just read this really quick here. It says you have Persia military, the IRGC, has declared that every sleeping giant citizens and soldiers in the region is now considered a legitimate target. This provocative statement comes in response to recent sleeping giant military strikes on Persia nuclear facility, which have intensified the ongoing conflict between the two nations. According to a report, the Jerusalem Post, the IRGC announcement marks a significant shift in rhetoric, signaling Persia's intent to retaliate against the sleeping giant interest in the region. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Alright, a lot of warnings are coming out today, a lot. I just post multiple videos. Department of Homeland Security, they put out a warning. Millions of sleeping giant citizens were told to get ready. Alright, so there's a lot of warnings coming out today, guys. Please prepare yourself. Make sure your doors are locked. You have every right to self-defense, the right to bear arms. I mean, you know, your job is to take care of your loved ones, your family. Alright, so we are definitely seeing something here. Remember, Joe left the doors open 4 years. 20 plus million came in. Out of those 20 plus million, you best believe there's a lot of those Mid-East that came in. Alright, so please prepare yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. Alright, so you have the Holy Land Military Declaration was broadcast. Broadcast on Persia state-run IRIB television. Wow. So they made this live broadcast announcement where a commentator ominously stated, "The war has begun." While displaying a map, of sleeping giant military bases across the Mid-East. We were told by Donald that the world is now a safer place. I mean, that's what Donald said. And look, guys, I support the Holy Land. I do. But those in the spotlights, no. No. Again, especially Ben said that he don't need Jesus Christ, he reject Christ. So whenever you reject Christ, what is that? An antichrist spirit. And we have seen that all over the place, guys. Donald is being deceived. So Donald said that there's going to be peace throughout the world since the facility was taken out, which, by the way, facility were not taken out. They were damaged, but not 100%. And now we are seeing DHS and all these messages that things are going to hit the fan. This is not peace, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what peace Donald's talking about, but this ain't it. So it was broadcast throughout the televised to millions out there. The commentator further warned, "You started it, and we'll finish it," directly addressing Donald, who has publicly described the strike as a great success. And I mentioned this many times. Look, guys, I believe Donald is great when it comes to certain things in business and stuff. But when it comes to biblical war, he's not. He's not. I mentioned that he kind of reminds me of King Nebuchadnezzar. Too prideful. Too prideful. We have the best military in the world. We have... Again, look, we do have the best stuff. But sometimes you have to be humble about it. Alright, so it says here... The sleeping giant military operation targeted key Persian nuclear facility aiming to disrupt Persia uranium enrichment capability, which the sleeping giant and its ally Holy Land claim pose a warning to global security. While Persia officials have attempted to downplay the damage to their nuclear infrastructure, reports suggest that the strike caused significant disruption, particularly at the Natanz facility, a critical site for uranium enrichment. The IRGC statement has raised alarm about the safety of approximately 40,000 sleeping giant troops and civilians stationed in the Mideast, including in countries such as Iraq, Bahrain, and Kuwait. Persia media outlets, including Mer News, have echoed that the IRGC position, asserting that sleeping giant bases in the region are now within range of Persian forces. This rhetoric has fueled concern about potential retaliatory strike, which could further destabilize an already volatile region. The sleeping giant strike followed a series of Holy Land airstrike on Persia targets, which began on June the 13th, Friday the 13th, 2025, under the operation codename Rising Lion. These Holy Land strikes targeted not only nuclear facility but also IRGC commanders and ballistic missile site, significantly weakening Persian military capability. Now it says here the passing of senior, I'm gonna skip his name, in these strikes has further inflamed tension. Now Donald say he wants peace with them, but that's not how you do it, man. That's not how you do it. You took out one of their top generals in 2020, and now you took out their facility. Supposedly you took out the facility, and now you have the nerve to tell them, now we could talk about peace. Persia, let's go back to negotiating. Persia is not going to negotiate. And sometimes, when you speak like that, it makes us look so bad, to be honest. If you want to talk to a land, you don't drop the hammer and tell them, hey, now let's talk. You don't do that. All right, so it says here you have an international reaction to the IRGC declaration have mixed, while some Mideast nations, such as Saudi Arabia and the UAE, have condemned the sleeping giant and Holy Land actions. Western Gov, including the UK, have called for de-escalation. The International Atomic Energy Agency has convened an emergency meeting to address the crisis, particularly the damage to Persian nuclear sites, which Persia claims violate international laws. It just, the way Donald does things, like to negotiate, is strange. It is strange. He drops the hammer, he takes out their general, and then, like nothing, okay, let's talk now. We could talk peace. I mean, it just, that's not the way it's supposed to be. I mean, King David, was a different leader, but again, David had more knowledge and, all these other leaders and scriptures. But Donald is a little different. That's the reason why I do believe God put him in the spotlight. Donald is playing this huge role of Bible prophecy. His heart is different than others when it comes to leadership. All right. It says here, give me a second, the International Atomic Energy Agency has convened an emergency meeting to address the crisis, particularly the damage to Persian nuclear site, which Persia claims violates international law. As the situation unfolds, the risk of a broader regional conflict looms large. The IRGC threat to target the sleeping giant in the Mideast underscores the fragile balance of power in the region and the potential for further violence. With both sides showing little willingness back down, the international community faces the urgent challenge of preventing a full-scale biblical war. All right. Once again, an emergency broadcast. You have these group that is going to go against the sleeping giant and the soldiers. The war has begun. And we are coming for the sleeping giants. And that's where we at right now. Give me a second here. Let me just go on X and see if there's any more information here. Look at this one here. Persia issues ominous warning. After the sleeping giant strike, Persia state media said, a night is coming, the likes of which has never been seen before. Uh-oh. Tehran has promised a response, while Holy Land and the sleeping giant remains on high alert. A night is coming, the likes of which has never been seen before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call peace. This is peace, okay? This is peace. According to Donald, this is what you call peace. The world right now is seeing peace. This is beautiful. This is amazing. I never seen peace like this ever in my life. There's peace in the world now. It's okay, guys. You can come out. Everything is fine. We got a message from the enemy. A night is coming, the likes of which has never been seen before. At the same time, you got doomsday playing in the air. Something big is going to hit the fan. They're going to retaliate. And I told you guys, I think this was a big mistake. A big mistake. All right, so let's see. Give me a second here. There's possibly more information here. You have a very important phone call going on here between Emmanuel Macron and who is it? Give me a second here. So Persia president to France. Okay, so the president of Persia to France. The sleeping giant attacked us. Would you just stand there? Alright, so the president of Persia, in a call with France leader Emmanuel Macron, minced words. The sleeping giant has struck us. If you were in such a situation, what would you do? He added bluntly. Naturally, they must receive retribution for their aggression. The message is clear. Tehran, not just angry, is setting the stage. Now the question is how, when, and just how far they'll go. They're making calls. Persia's calling nations out there. Give me 1 second, guys. Ooh. Look who arrived at the Bear Country. Persia Foreign Minister Abbas arrives in Moscow to meet Putin. Well, it seems like the bear's going to get involved soon. It seems like the bear is going to get involved. Breaking news is coming out. Luke is coming back. The B-2 bombers from Persia strike were spotted over New Jersey Sunday en route to. Okay, so this was spotted in New Jersey on Sunday. I thought that was today, like coming back home. All right, so far this is all the information here, guys. Let me bring up this last piece right here really quick. Turkey says the sleeping giant strikes on Persia could go global. Yeah, I agree. After the sleeping giant dropped the big one on Persian nuclear site, Turkey, Persia's neighbor and NATO member, says we are staring down a repeat of Iraq, Afghan, and the radicalization they left in their wake. Remember what Donald said back in 2015 when he was running against those Republicans, 2016? It was a big mistake going to Afghan. It was a big mistake going to Iraq. It was a big... Remember he said that? And he was attacking Jeb Bush, his brother. Your brother did a terrible job bringing us in that biblical war. Look at Donald. I told you guys. The first term Donald, he was an outsider. The second term Donald, well, he's now a politician. They slammed Holy Land Row, offered to host talks, and accused the sleeping giant of chasing chaos by backing Ben, you know what, biblical war stuff. They say if the sleeping giant follows Ben instead of hitting the brakes, the world, well, you guys know the rest. Alright, so this is where we at right now, guys. I'm going to end it here, but buckle up. That's all I got to say. Buckle up. Donald said there's going to be peace. But what does the Bible say? When spoken of peace, then sudden destruction shall follow. Thank you so much for watching, guys. For those of you that want to send us letters, prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Faith and trust in Jesus Christ. For He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.